Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Czechoslovakian Tier 9 heavy tank, the TNH T VZ.51. Now if you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this is the video for which I get up to and achieve the third mark of excellence for the tank. And what a tank it is. I do love this Tier 9 heavy. It is a lot of fun to play. It is very, very strong. And you can do some really good stuff with this tank. The two-shot, it does have two choices. You have a single shot and a two-shot autoloader. I three-marked it with a two-shot, and the two-shot is just, it's really nice because while you take the opportunity to maybe take one hit, you manage to deal in two smashes into someone's tank. You do have that 440 alpha, so you have 880 in the clip, and just like, well, okay, we missed the first. Well, yeah, no, we actually hit both, sorry. As you can see, just like that, we did 835 damage in two shots. Just like that, that's what the tank does. And the reload is pretty damn quick, so you're always going bang, bang, reloaded, bang, bang. And that's just the way that this tank operates. It's got pretty nice gun depression on the tank, so you can make the most of ridge lines like the one that we are showing off right now, because you've got 7 degrees of gun depression. 7 degrees isn't excellent, but it's still good enough that you can. It's still usable, right? You've got a 2.5 second intro clip, which is really nice. Again, 2.5 seconds on an intro clip is in that region where it's like, it's not amazing like that TVP 50/51's intro clip that you're seeing in front of us, but it's good enough to deliver the pain to people before they realise. You're not hanging around too much like you would be in, say, an Emil 9, not an Emil 1951, an Emil 2, where it's got like 3.33 seconds intro clip, something like that. And you can really dish out the hurt with this gun. The only thing with this gun, though, is that it does have 0.4 accuracy and only 960 shell velocity on the standard AP, which means that this gun does feel derpy at times when you're firing at range. And it also is one of those guns that sometimes feels like it just comes out the left-hand side of the barrel when it fires. You know, if you know what I mean? The shells seem to loop in weird ways at times with this tank, and if you're firing the gun, it just feels really odd when you're shooting and trying to make sure that you're leading the target correctly as to where the shells actually just decide to go, which, as you're seeing when I'm firing here, you'll see what I mean. It's almost like I'm slinging the shots, right, as opposed to the shell just coming out the barrel and flying towards the tank. Just the way the TNH feels sometimes, and if you're not quite feeling it, the gun really can get a bit frustrating. But on the whole, the tank is just really nice to play because, like I say, it does have that really nice two-shot autoloader. It's got pretty damn nice mobility because you've got a 50km/h top speed, which you can hit. You've got pretty good turret armor. You've got pretty decent upper plate armor. Your lower plate is not very good at all, but I mean that's the way it should be. You got 2.7 second aim time, which, yeah, 2.7 seconds aim time isn't the best, and that means you do have to wait around a little bit if you come from to a full stop from like full speed and turn the turret, stuff like that. But again, the bloom on the turret isn't actually that bad realistically, or the dispersions in general, so it doesn't bloom out all that much. So you don't have to wait for the gun for what feels like forever most of the time. So in terms of recruit on the TNH T VZ.51, I do run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanic, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and Off-Road Driving. All three gun perks make the gun as good as possible because I'm a heavy tank and I want to do that. Off-Road Driving to help the ground resistances as much as I can so I can try and at least hit that 50km/h top speed. And yeah, that's just generally, it's my sort of generic template crew for a heavy tank. And in terms of equipment, I run the optics, vertical stabilizers, and I run vents to try and just maximise everything about the tank. No, actually, I don't run vents. I used to run vents, and I changed it to a GLD because the gun was annoying me. Forgot there for a second. Yeah, so I used to run vents to make everything about the tank better, like the gun handling, the aim time, the DPM, right? Just to help everything about the tank. And the gun started to really frustrate me, especially with the aim time. So I started running a GLD just to make sure that I knocked the aim time of the tank down. I think I knocked it down to about 2.4, 2.3 second aim time as opposed to about 2.6 without any help, and it really did make the gun feel a little bit nicer and just a little bit more like I'm not waiting around as much to be able to deliver the pain that this gun can deliver pretty much. But again, there's multiple ways to set up a tank, and you could run a traction system for all you wanted to, so you could get up to 55km/h too. You know, it's down to you completely. I just do everything to make sure that this gun is as good as possible. And in this game so far, as you're seeing, it's 8-6 currently, so the game's going pretty well. We're at 4.3k damage, and we're only on 51 hit points, which is not a good time. That's because we made a mistake earlier on, and that is we attacked the M48 a little bit too aggressively. We didn't quite have the gun depression that we wanted to get into him, so we didn't have to overexpose, and we basically drove out in front of a Taran and I think it was something else as well, like a TVP or something like that. So we ended up losing most of our hit points, which is not useful, especially when we will need them. And currently, there's 5 of us over here on this flank. Randy's on the other flank with one of our medium tanks, and they are pushing quite aggressively towards them, which means it's not looking too good for them. So what I'm trying to do is I've switched to premium rounds so that I can deal with the heavies and I'm not going to have too much of a problem with the standard rounds possibly bouncing. And we're going to get over there and try and get into a position where we can try and assist them with some shots. Because if we can hit a position like H or J0, we can catch them out as they do cross that open field. We actually see the AMXM 454 who's attacking Randy. We get a shot into the side of his turret, shuts him down. Glorious stuff. Now the 705A is attacking Randy, and unfortunately the 705A ends up shutting him down, and the medium tank's not looking too good for him. We instantly went for the reload after we killed the AMXM 454 because I didn't feel like I was going to get any more shots into those blokes. So what was the point of holding on to that one shell? I may as well just gone for the quick reload and made sure we were ready. The Taran ends up shutting down the AVRE that was in the middle. We do have to try and get a shot into that AVRE if we can. Not AVRE, that Taran, if we can. Because, well, it's Taran, and Tarans are not good, especially when they are extremely hard to spot. And unfortunately, we didn't get the second shot into that Taran, but we are up to 5.1k assistance, I should say. I need to learn to read. And we're up to 5.1k assistance. We are going to try now to move into the corner at K0. We're just going to poke up, though, to see if we can try and spot these guys, see if we can get a cheeky shot in here or there, because you never know. The game is on a knife edge at the minute. It is 5-4. We've got 2 guys towards their base, the 2 guys behind me, and obviously me trying to angle for shots at the 2 guys, the light tank and I think it was a T49 and a Concept 1B that were sat at H6. So like I say, I want to get into this corner. I want to get to this corner because I can get up on top of this ridge line and then start trying to get some sneaky shots into these guys that are sitting at H6, because that position up there in the corner at K0 does counter the Concept 1B and the T49, but it's also a little bit risky because I do have to overexpose to be able to get the gun depression to shoot them. But it's worth trying out, right? So we tried to get a shot into that Concept 1B, and unfortunately we ended up ricocheting off of the Concept 1B's upper hull, so we're just going to decide, you know what, okay, we're going for a full reload. Now we're unspotted, we're going to try moving and see if we do get spotted. If we don't, we are going into that corner. It's a risky play, because if that Concept does decide to poke up, he could just shut us down. And in fact, he does end up spotting us. I'm like, no, don't do it. Oh, thank goodness me. Thank goodness me. He doesn't end up getting the shot in. And now we are in the corner exactly where we wanted to be. There's a TD that is attacking this Concept, so maybe we'll be able to actually get some cheeky, sneaky shots into him. It's a one-shot Death Star. He is going in on this Concept 1B. I mean, he could delete a lot of his hit points, but hopefully we can get the cheeky shots into him while he's distracted. So we've got the side of the turret, the Concept. We get one shot into the side of his turret. And unfortunately for me, he now gets behind a rock. Just waiting. The moment we get detected, by the way, is the moment that we pull back from this ridge. But we aren't detected currently, so we're just chancing it as much as we can to see if we can get this final shot into this Concept 1B. Because it would be glorious to be able to put him down to a one-shot. And there you go. Detected. I'm like, nope, not chancing that. We're not sticking around. Now we're detected. We are pulling back. Because what was the point of sticking around? If we're detected, we're possibly going to get shut down. And there's things like the Concept 1B. There was a Taran somewhere, which has shut down the T58 Heavy, which was actually behind me at H0. So he's now gone. My support is completely gone. There was a T49, which obviously, if it has the Derp gun, will kill me. Thankfully, we get a snapshot into the Sheridan, which shuts down the Sheridan. We're up to 3 kills with 6k damage. Glorious. Sheridan gone. And once again, I'm feeling like I'll probably need the 2 shells in the clip to be able to help myself out here. So now we've killed the Sheridan, I feel like I've got the time to put the reload in, and we're going to go with 2 shots. So we're just going to poke to see if we can spot these guys, because I'm expecting these guys to come after me. And we get detected before we even managed to poke round, so I'm thinking maybe the Taran's moved in the bushes over there, or the T49. Because I got spotted without managing to get round the corner, and I didn't see the thing that was trying to spot me. Which makes me very nervous right now, because I am fully expecting these guys to be charging me. My 2 guys that are towards their cap have just stayed over there, which means I'm not really going to get much help here. And we are playing it very careful. The T-49 comes around, it's like, oh goodness me. Thankfully he misses his shot. We get both of our shots in, but it's not good. I'm going to hopefully try and get him to finish himself off with the ram, but he doesn't quite kill himself. He's 50 to 813. Oh, he doesn't quite kill himself with the little rams. I'm just trying to get close enough, and I'm thinking my goose is cooked, especially with the concept now here. But we get the reload in before the T-49 does. The Concept 1B, he's missed, which means we get that last shell in the clip into the Concept 1B, and now my goose is truly cooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to face hug this Concept. We're going to stick to his front as much as possible, because if we keep it like this, he's going to struggle to pen me with a face hug. And I've just got to keep wiggling. I've got to keep moving as much as possible. And thankfully, he'd missed the other shot. We're trying to stick our gun within his gun, which happens. He ends up bouncing his shot. And we shut down the Concept 1B. What just happened? What just happened? How did we survive that? We should have been dead. Yep, we should have been dead. 7.7 thousand damage, 5 kills. I'm fully expecting the Turan to be coming charging in, but actually the Turan kills the Yagtai, which is near their base. So that makes it me know it's actually safe to drive out of that position at K0. So that's what we're going to do. Otherwise, I would have stuck to that position because I would have expected the Turan to be waiting for me to come out. I have no words for how I survived that. It's probably pure enemy incompetence, to be fair, on that one, because the T-49 should have killed us. And because we got the last shot into him, it was kind of like maybe his reloads, maybe we killed his loader and my reload's actually faster than his for the full clip. But who knows? Because that T-49 should have been reloaded in time to kill us, and he just never fired. And that meant we actually got to shut him down. And we got a bit unlucky, really, that we didn't manage to kill him with the 2 nudges that he gave into us. And then that Concept 1B, again, I fully thought my goose was cooked. I thought that Concept 1B was going to shut me down. But thankfully, he managed to miss his first shell, which gave us the opportunity to put him off making his other shells. Because we basically got in his face, made him suffer, essentially, so that it made it very difficult for him to pen me, and that way we managed to bounce most of his shots and get to finish him off. Luckily for me, we end up spotting this Turan, and I'm making it look like I'm going around this left-hand side, but I was always intending to go around this right-hand side in case he was going to run away, or because he would have been waiting for me to come out of the left-hand side. And in fact, he is running away, and thank the Lord, we managed to get the RBRT in to shut down the Turan. And we finished off the tremendous game for the TNH T VZ.51. 6 kills, 7.8, nearly 7.9k damage, 1750 blocked. And the ace tanker, the sniper, the high caliber, the top gun, the Spartan medal for ricocheting shots, you know, well, low health and stuff. 2.3k base XP, a really great game for the TNH T VZ.51. It's a great tank, but I have no idea how I survived in that game. So many opportunities I should have died. But you take the rough with the smooth. RNG giveth, RNG taketh. And that game, it gave it to us. Now we're on to the second replay. And the second replay, it's in a tier 10 game. We're on this map, which is Hidden Village. It's in the top left corner. I don't know why I struggle half the time when it's just there for me, right there. And we're going to go to the position where I expect heavy tanks to brawl. And that is the position at G4. We're going all the way in. Or at least that's the plan. Because if you end up pushing this heavy tank flank on this top road and you stop at a position like F3, it's very easy for you to have completely lost this top end. Completely. And getting enveloped and killed, pretty much. Because this rock here can be the death of the flank very easily, because they'll push around the bottom, they'll push around the top, they get the whole flank to do with what they want. So what you want to be trying to do is pushing as aggressively as you can to this ridge here, where you can get hull down. You can push multiple angles from it, so you can push round, you can use your gun depression over the top, you can try and shoot the guys in the low ground really easily, but you have plenty of cover to pull back from. And it's a pretty damn useful position. So we poke out. We're just looking for the shot into the E5 Scapola. Unfortunately, we missed the first one. And that's a mouse, which we're not penning. And I decided, okay, I'm not penning a mouse. And an E5 is going to be a tricky proposition with my standard penetration of 252. So we're going to load the 294 penetration APCR rounds so that we can deal with the mouse if we need to pen it and the E5's cupola. So now we're nearly loaded on the APCR. We're being very careful to poke round. I know that if I poke round this side, I'm going to be safe from where the mouse is. By doing this, we managed to get 2 shots into the E5. Unfortunately for me, he did snap a shot in, which tracked me, but no one else hit me, so we're all good. And we managed to put 2 shots into him in return, which is a pretty damn nice trade. The E5 gets shut down by the Batchat 15558, and now we're nearly loaded. We're going to come round and start shooting this I7. I have no real clue what this I7 is trying to do, and I was going to poke over and be really aggressive to get a shot in, but I decided not to because I thought that would be silly. But then the I7 just ignored me. We end up damaging his ammo rack, and we get a second shot in which re-damages his ammo rack, that poor guy. And we managed to pull back without taking any shots in return. The other IS-7 has poked round, and they're not even a platoon. He's pushed around on a heavy tank in the side. So what we're going to do is pull back so that we're kind of hull down, or so that we can quite easily pull back to be hull down and safe from the other enemy IS-7. He's also got this ST1 that's bothering him, and our friendly ST1 actually has a lot of hit points, and thankfully we reload in time to get 2 shots into that IS-7 and shut him down. We're up to 2.5k damage with 1100 assistance, and we are very close to the third mark. I think we're at like 94.6, I think it was, or something like this. And I was thinking, right, okay, I need probably roughly about 5k, 6k, something like that, to push me up to what I want to be at. And so we're going to push quite aggressively to get there, to get the damage in, because we'd had a few drops and a few near misses here and there, so I wanted to be able to get all that in. Unfortunately, we bounced off the M103, but we do get the second shot into the T54E1 there. We knew it was safe to push around the 54E1 because we counted his shots and he fired all of them. Now we're waiting for the reload once again, and I feel like I might be reloading in time to get the shots into this E1 before he will be reloaded himself. We also have a full health mouse in front of us, and we really want the shots into this mouse if we can, because that is a lot of hit points. So we're going to drive around, get a shot into the lower plate of the mouse. He's trying to angle up and like, can I get a shot into his turret cheek to pen it? Unfortunately, we bounced the 292 pen off his turret cheek, but he also, well, he actually fired the small gun at us and didn't pen us. The M103 is going around in the mouse. We're just 10 seconds out before we're ready to get the shot into this mouse, and I decided, okay, this mouse is distracted with the M103. The M103 is probably going to kill him. I want to get forward to get some shots into these guys over here, because this is HP that I need. This is damage that I need. And we had the hit points to take a shot from the mouse, so we were risking it for a biscuit. Now the 430U is over here. We get a shot into the 430U's lower plate. We're just going to drive by him, get a shot into his side, which puts us up to 4.1k damage, 1,400 assistance. So I'm at this point thinking I probably might have it, but I really need just more. We need to make sure. So we are going for the rams if we can. We've got a Batchat 15558 directly in front of us. We get a nice little bit of ram into him. We're nearly loaded, which is great for us. 1 second out. We get the shot in to shut down the Batchat 15558, and we get a little bit more assistance on those guys as well. And that puts us up to like, what, 6 point something K combined? Quick maths is hard. Finished with 2 kills, 4.7k damage, 1800 assistance. Yeah, about 6.5k combined nearly. The ace tanker, the third mark of excellence, 1754 base XP. Really nice game for the TNH VZ.51. It was really nice to get the third mark of excellence on a heavy tank at tier 9 that I really do enjoy. I think it's an absolutely solid heavy tank, and it's a real amount of fun to play. The single shot is a good gun for the tank, but the 2 shot is just what makes this tank absolutely tick. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I will see you all next time.
A great success!